God's advice today. This message was lovingly prepared to bring peace and guidance to your heart. If it touches you, feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. That way, you'll keep receiving uplifting content. Stay with us until the end. We've prepared something special with great care. Discover something life-changing. In the first comment, I left a special prayer and an opportunity that could open doors you never imagined. God said, "My beloved child, I have closely observed every step you've taken throughout your journey. I saw how you shaped your soul to fit molds that never reflected your truth, simply to please those who never recognized the fullness of what I placed within you. I saw your forced smiles, your attempts to be strong when, deep inside, your essence was crying out for freedom. The armor you built to survive the world's demands, though it protected you for a while, began to suffocate you. That's when I allowed discomfort to settle in, not as punishment, but as a tool for liberation. Are you seeking a deep spiritual change in your life and in the lives of those you love? Imagine attracting wealth and abundance in less than a week, while blessings pour over you daily. All of this begins with a simple 1-minute prayer. To discover how this technique can transform your reality, click the link in the first comment. Every step you take on this journey not only benefits you but also supports our channel and the dedicated team that brings this valuable content to you. Don't wait any longer to begin your journey of spiritual and material transformation. Click right now to learn more and start walking toward a fuller and more abundant life. Every loss, every frustration, every collapse, was my hand tearing away what was preventing you from blooming. I never left you alone, even when you felt invisible. And I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. Ezekiel chapter 36 verse 26, "For I knew the old one could not bear the lightness of the truth I have for you." You were born to be whole, complete, free from the need to hide behind masks. Every layer that broke, every structure that fell, every plan that didn't come to pass, was the beginning of the reconstruction of what is true in you. I love you with everlasting love, and for that reason, I keep shaping you according to my purpose. Trust in me, for everything I allowed was meant to bring you back to the center of your essence, where my living presence dwells. There, at last, you will be whole. Comment, I trust in God's love, He is my refuge. My beloved child, listen closely to the words I give you today. They are not the result of chance or mere momentary comfort, but they express the depth of my love and my plan for you. I never exposed you to shame you, but to rescue you. There were layers hiding your true essence, emotional prisons and beliefs that were never yours, which became like chains around your soul. The world molded versions of you that were never born from my heart. And because I love you zealously, I allowed discomfort to awaken you. Every pain, every rupture, every new beginning, none of it was in vain. It was my hand calling you back to what I dreamed when I thought of you, even before you took your first breath. My purpose has always been to reveal you, not just before men, but before your own eyes. For many know your name, but few know your truth, and even you, for a time, forgot who you were. Comment, I trust in God's love, He is my refuge. There was a time when you confused yourself with the roles you had to play. They made you believe your worth depended on how much you could give, achieve, represent. And to survive, you began to wear masks. But I, who know you at a depth no one else can access, chose to remove those layers that never belonged to you. Your true self was buried under demands and performances, and my love could not allow you to remain in that deception. That's why doors closed, bonds broke, and comfort zones became uncomfortable. It was time for revelation. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5. This word is not just a distant promise, it is a reminder of the eternal covenant I have with you. Nothing defines you more than what I declared over you before anything existed. And that identity now emerges, like gold refined by fire, radiant and pure. Each loss, no matter how painful, was a liberation. With each cycle that ended, I was giving you back to yourself. It was necessary to strip you of what the world imposed as standards of worth, titles, status, hollow praise, and guide you back to the living essence I planted within you. What you thought was rejection was in truth protection. And what you believed to be abandonment was divine intervention. Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. John chapter 8 verse 32. Yes, it was my truth in you that dismantled the lies that imprisoned you. Because only with a free heart can you walk by my side in wholeness. I did not call you to pretend strength, but to live in authenticity. The stability you lost was merely an illusion. Now, each step you take rests upon the solid rock of the identity I gave you myself. And where there is truth, there is freedom. I know you cried for what was lost, for people who left, for doors that shut without explanation. But listen, not everything that is lost is a loss. Some losses are, in fact, acts of love. Because what I have for you is not built on illusions. The connections I removed were not evil in themselves, but they were built upon an image of you that did not reflect what I see. They could not remain, because I saw you shrinking to fit inside them. I could not anoint what was false. I cannot bless a copy of your soul. And because I formed you with uniqueness, I led you down paths where your truth would be summoned. My promises are for who you truly are, not for who the world forced you to become. That's why I removed what supported you outwardly, to strengthen who you are inwardly. Comment: God removes illusions to reveal His truth in me. Did you know there is an effective method to attract more financial prosperity? This technique can help transform your deep-rooted beliefs and change the way you perceive reality. It has had a significant impact on my life, and we would love to invite you to discover this special practice. When we trust that God wants to move in our lives, we gain the courage to ask Him directly. God longs to bless each of us in a unique and wonderful way. That's why it's important to seek His blessings with faith and confidence, believing He has a special plan for you. If you'd like to support our work and the team that dedicates itself to bringing inspiring and transformative content, we invite you to check out our product. The link is available in the first comment so you can discover how this technique can also help in your journey. Your support helps us continue sharing messages that make a difference. We're deeply grateful for your trust and support. I know the places you've tried hardest to hide, even from yourself. Places where you've stored old pain, unspoken words, unresolved fears. But when I touched those areas, it wasn't to harm you, it was to heal you. I don't expose wounds for pleasure, I reveal them to restore. And every goodbye you faced, every separation, was part of that healing process. You can no longer remain where your soul is merely tolerated. I've called you to places where your truth will be welcomed. I don't want you living behind appearances anymore, because what I'm preparing to place in your hands requires depth. It must be born of surrender, not performance. I'm teaching you to live with wholeness, because what's coming must be carried by a whole heart, not a divided one. I am making you whole, even if it costs you what is shallow. Comment: God's healing finds me when I allow myself to be real. My child, you no longer need to hide. You are enough, exactly as I created you. I know your light unsettles some people, that your presence challenges structures, that your essence disrupts old expectations. But this is the path I prepared for you, the path of authenticity. I didn't call you to fit in, but to flourish. And that's why I allowed the difficult experiences, so they would strip away the fear of being who you truly are. Every challenge, every silence, every loss had a redemptive purpose. I am pruning you, not to diminish your beauty, but to multiply your fruit. Pruning hurts, but it comes before the harvest. The stillness of your current season is not abandonment, it's preparation. Because I am the gardener who tenderly cares for what I plant. And in you, I planted something too precious to let it be smothered by falsehood. Comment: authenticity is the fertile soil of my purpose. Now a new freedom is beginning to bloom within you. A lightness from no longer needing to prove yourself. You are being led into spaces that welcome you, not for your appearance, but for your essence. The tasks now entrusted to you resonate with your identity. The doors I will open won't require disguises, they were designed specifically for who you are. And when you realize that you no longer need to adjust yourself to belong, you'll know you're dwelling in the center of my will. The anxiety that once ruled you will turn into peace. Insecurity will give way to confidence, because you'll know, you were made for this time, for this place, for this purpose. No longer a mold to follow, but a unique design of my creation. Move forward with courage. You don't need to hide your light anymore. You were made to shine. And this is how you will know that you are no longer dreaming, but truly living the plan I designed for you. This is not a new beginning, but the fulfillment of a promise I have carried in my heart since before your very first breath. What you now see manifesting was not born today, it already existed in my eternal purpose. But I waited. I waited until your eyes could see with gratitude and not with greed. I waited until your heart no longer confused blessing with validation, but understood it as mission. What once seemed too far to reach was never denied, it was simply reserved. Everything that felt like a delay was, in truth, a gesture of my care, protecting your inheritance from being given to a heart still unstable. Today, you no longer just desire what I've prepared, you know what to do with it. Your sensitivity has matured, your dependence on me has deepened, your soul has bowed to my timing. And that is precisely why now I place into your hands what bears my seal. It is not a reward for performance, it is a gift born of identity. You receive it not because you achieved, but because you belong. You are my child. And because you are ready, the promise is being fulfilled. When you look back, you will see that it was not in vain. That every tear watered the soil where fulfillment now grows. And you will realize that what once felt like an end was, in truth, the beginning of something sacred. Do not fear the magnitude of what I have entrusted to you. If it comes from me, it will come with the grace to sustain it. My plan is not just grand, it is good. And everything I have prepared will fit perfectly into the space your waiting has built. Comment: what God has kept for me comes as a gift, not a prize. Had I given you now what I place in your hands before the right time, perhaps you would have used it with pride instead of reverence. Because more than victories, you needed wisdom, the kind that discerns the value of what is eternal. That's why silence was necessary. The hiding was part of my protection. There were moments when you thought you were alone, but I was sheltering you under my covering, away from the eyes that could not grasp your essence. And in that hidden place, I formed you. I strengthened you. I stripped away lies you wore as truths. I led you through narrow paths so that you would learn to trust even when nothing made sense. And yet, you did not give up. You sought me. And in that deep, silent process, faith stopped being a speech and became a root. Now, you no longer chase blessings like one begging for crumbs. You receive them like an heir who understands both origin and destiny. You know it's not luck, it's faithfulness. It's not chance, it's covenant. And so, your posture has changed. You no longer run after, you walk with purpose. You no longer depend on applause, you trust my voice. And now, as this new season opens before you, you will know how to carry it, with humility, with reverence, with the awareness that what I give carries eternal weight. Receive it now with courage. Because this time is not a replacement of everything that lacked, it is the revelation of what I have always prepared. And the waiting, you now understand, was not a loss, it was refinement. Comment, I waited on God, and now I understand the value of waiting. You are not starting from zero, you are being inserted into the fullness that was always yours but needed preparation to be accessed. Everything that looked like a setback was, in fact, realignment. Every apparent loss was a repositioning. Every closed door was a wall being raised to guard your heart from paths that would have led you astray. Nothing was in vain, my child. Not the silent nights, nor the days when your tired soul cried out for meaning. You were carefully guided to this point. You are not where you are by luck, but by purpose. And it is here, in this exact place, that everything begins to align with the original dream your Father, wrote for you. What once caused you pain will now become your testimony. What once was confusion will now become direction. And what once seemed a desert now blooms like a garden. Because nothing, absolutely nothing, escaped my sovereignty. Every step, every choice, even your stumbles, I used them all to shape your faith and prepare your spirit. So walk now with confidence. You are not improvising a life, you are stepping into the fulfillment of a destiny. And all that once seemed like interruption now reveals itself as care. Do not forget, your story was never patched together, it was sculpted. With detail, with time, with love. And now, as you behold what is being born, you will understand, you were prepared for this. And because of that, you are ready. Comment, all things work together for good. God lovingly led me here. My beloved child, the answers you've been longing for will not come merely in silent whispers or barely perceptible sensations. I am manifesting those answers in visible changes, tangible signs that will confirm what you once only sensed in your heart. Where there was once emptiness, I am restoring fullness. Where you felt the ache of absence, I am now returning what was lost, but not as it was, rather, healed and transformed. What once caused you pain will now bring you joy. Not because it will return unchanged, but because I am rebuilding it on stronger ground, where truth can grow. Every tear you shed held value in my sight, and now you will see that you did not weep in vain. Your soul is being renewed, and the harvest of your quiet faith is beginning to bloom before your very eyes. Comment, the tears I shed in silence, God gathered with care. My intention was never just to soothe your suffering, but to produce a deep and lasting transformation within you. What the world disregarded, I preserved. What was taken from you, I kept with care. Your moments of weakness were never signs of failure, but open spaces where true strength, my strength, could be formed within you. Those who sow in tears will reap with songs of joy. Psalm 126 verse 5. Understand this, what seemed like silence was actually me, working behind the scenes of your story. When you prayed in a whisper and had no words left, your groans rose to me as pure praise. And now, my child, what you once thought was lost is returning, not in the same shape, but in the precise way you need. Dressed in purpose, filled with meaning, marked by my justice. You often asked yourself, why did certain things happen? Why did doors close, relationships break, and paths disappear before their time? I heard every one of those questions. I was never offended by your honesty, because I knew your soul was seeking understanding, not rebellion. I waited for the right time to reveal to you that some refusals were, in fact, protections. Some blessings you longed for would have become prisons in disguise. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5. There were dreams that looked perfect, people who felt essential, and opportunities that seemed divine. But I saw beyond the surface. I saw what your eyes could not. That is why, in love, I said, no. My no was a shield. My silence was an answer. What seemed like absence was the deepest form of care. There are things you only understand with time. Today, you can already see that many delays were actually preparations. If I had given you everything you asked for when you weren't ready, it would have cost your peace, your freedom, perhaps even your identity. I never wanted to see you shining on the outside while dying within. That is why I allowed you to be deconstructed. Some pain came to clear the ground, to help you see what truly matters. And now, I am placing something new in your hands, something stable, lasting, and true. Prepare for sincere connections, for opportunities that don't require you to hide or shrink, for provision that doesn't depend on human control but flows straight from my heart. I am the God who sustains, who opens doors no one can shut, and who restores perfectly what once seemed ruined forever. My child, what I'm building in your life now is solid. It is not a passing phase or a fleeting moment. It is a new season, grounded in everything you learned in the valley. What was once fragile will now be strong. What was once unstable will now be steady. You will feel peace even in the face of responsibility. You will see order where there once was only chaos. People aligned with my will are coming to walk beside you. They will not use you, envy you, or try to control you. They will be mirrors of what I've placed inside you. Lightness will come not because life got easier, but because you grew stronger in me. You will recognize this new reality, not through fear or insecurity, but through a deep conviction that I am with you, and that is enough. Now, my dear son, I invite you to remember those moments when you bowed before me without understanding anything, yet still believed. Those moments when you saw no way out, yet still hoped something good could come from it. That good thing is arriving. Not as a reward, but as an expression of my unending love. What's coming does not depend on your performance or others' approval. It is favor. It is grace. It is the fulfillment of long-held promises. You will look back and see how every pain had purpose, every absence built resilience, and every tear shaped a new version of you. This new chapter is not a continuation of the past, it is something entirely new. It is the holy fulfillment of what others overlooked but I never stopped planning. The place where you once cried will soon become the altar where you give thanks. The path is clear, for my light illuminates it. And your steps are steady, because they are upheld by my promises. There is no reason to look back with regret. Everything that has passed served to build what is now being revealed. And what once seemed like loss was, in truth, liberation. I freed you from burdens that would have delayed your progress. You are no longer defined by what was, but by who you have become in me. Your name, your identity, your mission, all of it is now clearer than ever. and your essence blooms in freedom. You have learned to receive without guilt and to give without fear. You have become capable of carrying the truths I entrusted to you without being lost in them. And now, you are ready to pour out. To bless without being emptied, to shine without being extinguished, to love without forgetting yourself. The well within you is not shallow, it is deep. It was dug with pain, but it will be filled with joy. So do not fear, my child. Do not doubt. What lies ahead is upheld by me. Your part is simply to walk with me, one step at a time, with a tender heart and eyes fixed on me. The work is in progress, and now it begins to manifest outside of you as well. And everything you do, every decision you make, will align with the essence I myself shaped within you. And as long as you live in alignment with that truth, peace will be your constant companion. Your time has come, and not as a delayed reward, but as the rightful harvest of the seed you chose to cultivate even when all was darkness. Now, the light will not come only from the outside in, it will radiate from the inside out. And those who look at you will know that something has changed, even if they cannot explain it. For your life will be a reflection of my faithfulness, my constant presence, and my unshakable love. With love, God. I hope this message has been an inspiration to you. If it touched your heart, write Amen in the comments and share it with someone who also needs to hear this word. I invite you to click on the first comment, where you will find a special prayer and a suggestion to strengthen your spiritual journey. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to receive more inspiring content like this. See you tomorrow.